Hello YouTube, I hope everybody's doing great. If you're watching this video when it first comes out, it is 1st of January of 2025. So happy new year to everybody. And I am still working on my drone. I still did not receive the motors. And I did some updates, upgrades, and some files, ST files, and I wanted to talk to you about those. So I did design these tiny little plugs to go into these shields that are normally used for the wires, which I will do too. On the top they will be used for the wires, and on the bottom of the arms I will put these NeoPixels in there. And one side is closed. Well, those are, I think, the last printed, they're all open, but one side is closed, obviously, and the other side has an opening for 3 wires to go through. I was going to use these servo wires, but there's a slight problem. Well, let me first unplug this and then I show you, and then I talk to you. Oh, the VTX getting hot. And so let me also disconnect this forward.
Telemetry lost.
Yeah, telemetry is off. So anyway, here is the bottom of my drone, and these LED strips will go on the bottom like that. And then of course I had find a way to put the wires in, and I will go through these 4 holes that are the openings for the holes for the where the flight controller is mounted to. And of course I had to come up with something to not have these wires exposed. So I came up with this. I designed this in Eagle, converted it to a STL file with FreeCAD, and then edited it on the web with what's the website called? Why do I forget simple names? Tinkercad. So I made those openings for the button, for the screw heads, and for holes, or for openings for the holes, and I made some wire channels. And this will go on here like this. And just for testing, I put my name on there. Just this very small text font. Anyway, this covers this whole bottom, and I thought even if you're not using any lights on the bottom and have wires or whatnot, you still have those 4 holes, and you could easily cover it with this. That will be, I was going to actually use the holes and extension standoffs to be able to screw this down, but then I remembered I have the wires going in through the holes. I could technically extend it to the I could do that too. I could go through the opening here where the capacitor is, but anyway, I did it this way, and I'm going to just glue this on here with double-sided tape. In a crash situation, it might rip off, I don't know. Maybe or maybe not. So anyway, I think it will be enough to glue this down with double-sided tape, and then also have it flush with no screw head sticking out, or have it to make it thicker, which I come to in a second or two. And anyway, what I noticed is with these servo wires, they do fit nicely in here. Perfect, actually. I made the cutout specially, but the problem is the LED is angled like this, and there's no way this wire is gonna turn the corner without being elevated and whatnot. So I will use single wires, then I can just lay them down in there without having it bulge up. And I'm going to use silicone wires that I have here, but of course, picky as I am, when I put this down here and the cover on top of it, there is still a tiny bit of wire exposed. And to illuminate the color, like those Lego pins when they are colorful in a build or whatever. Anyway, I will use all black wires. I will connect it one by one to eliminate any wire confusion with the ground, 5-volt and signal wire, but I will make it all black so it will be nicely so it will not stick out like a sore thumb. Obviously it's just for me, nobody else in this world will see it unless you watch this video. So anyway, that was my idea, and I did connect one of the LED strips to the flight controller. And although the flight controller has like so many different possibilities to light up the LEDs with the throttle and signal and GPS and whatnot, it didn't fit me. I just want to be able to control those LEDs as I wish. And with the flight controller, I cannot do that. As I said, there are many possibilities. You can control them, configure them the way you want, the color you want, the sequence and whatnot. But a simple running light, there's a Larsen scanner that goes back and forth, but I want a running light, for example, that goes from the center out to the end of the 4 arms. And I had this idea before. I was going to use my custom board with an Atmega 328. I can also use an Atmega 1284p if I like to, on the same PCB, which has both footprints, and it has a Bluetooth module. So I was actually thinking first of using this and then be able to use Bluetooth and control the LEDs. But then how many times you're gonna control the LEDs or change them for that matter? So then I thought just using the Atmega 328 and using the servo output, which you can enable on these boards, and have the Atmega 328 react to the PWM voltage that the servo channel has. And that's where I got to here. I configured Betaflight controller to be able to control the servo, and it was actually easier than I thought it will be. So this is my actual second. So I made it Mario 5 mods by Hayri, because I also 3D printed some really beautiful side covers this way and that way, and I even redesigned the back piece to have those two design elements of the side panel. I mean, I'm hitting the phone. I'm really doing too much design. I mean, this drone is supposed to build it, finish it up, fly it, right? But I can't just help it. I have to make it nice looking and protected as well a bit. So this was my previous with a large design element like that. So that's when I redesigned it and reprinted it to have it like this. And also, since my side panels, let me just unplug this here quick and put one on there to show you. My side panels have the third hole to be able to mount it in the back as well, and they'll go nicely but snug onto the 3 standoffs. Normally they slide in much easier, but on camera always has to struggle a bit. So that's how it looks from the side. It still has the opening for the USB and the micro SD card for the onboard recording of the video camera, which this Moonlight kit has from Walksnail. And I had to also lower the back of the standoffs here of the 3D print to be able to put the hole from the side panel over it, and so that the top piece, when it goes on there, covers everything beautifully up. Of course, you know that it also has these air inputs that I will screw on later on, of course. And I also designed this, hard to see maybe, black on black. It has 3 inlets from the front as well, and this protects it pretty well. And the cable channels I will cut at an angle like this, so they will go in. This is this side, I think. No, it's actually this side. So they will go in like that, a little bit into the design. Oh man, this is dark. Let me light this up. There you go. It will go in a little bit in here, so you won't see any cables at all. On the bottom you will see just 1 or 2 millimeter of the cable, but as I said, I will make it black and you won't see it. Also, in case you're wondering, this red strip, the protection that you peel off, once you peel it off, it has transparent double-sided tape, which I extra ordered as well. So you see it's just the cover that's red, but you can see through it. The double-sided tape is actually transparent. So if you would put it like that, the red would show, but once you glue it on, the red will, there's no red, it's transparent. Anyway, so what I figured, I can put this way, plug this in. Then I figured I can make this actually a bit thicker and put one of my minimal Altmega boards. I have here one. I actually have a smaller one, even smaller one, into this here in the middle, and connect the NeoPixels directly to the board, and just have 3 wires as the servo itself, 5 volt ground and the signal, and get the signal from this pad and control my lights via the SC switch on my radio. And how that works I will show you right now by example of the servo. And that would actually eliminate, well, these will go in still in here, but it will eliminate wiring to the flight controller with only 1 or 3 wires. So let me plug this in again, or turn it on.
Telemetry recovered.
Okay, and you can see here, oh, 1 second, I have to plug in my battery because the 5 volt does not have output without the battery. Okay, now the 5 volt works, and on my remote, on my radio, I have 3 outputs: minimum, middle and maximum, and I can use those 3 different signals to have 3 different light modes, which totally fine with me, and that would be more than enough to do anything. That way I have only one connection to the flight controller and all the electronics contained within this cover on the bottom. And okay, disconnect this. And what was I gonna say? Yeah, since the standoffs here are much higher than this pad will be, I can make it a little thicker. I could make it 5mm thick or even 6mm probably, and have my PCB in there controlling the NeoPixels. I could technically still use the other PCB. Where did I put it? I still could use this PCB, which is not that much thicker, and still have the possibility. I mean, this will be 4.3mm thick, and the regular one is about 3 something. It doesn't have the Atmega chip on here because I desoldered it and used it somewhere else, but that would be probably about 2.5 2.6mm thick, so it will still fit in there. Even this one would fit in there, and I might still go with the Bluetooth version, because then I can upload code to it easily over Bluetooth without having to disconnect it. And since I'm gonna use double-sided tape to glue this on here, I could do that. And I'm also thinking, which you might think as well, if I use double-sided tape, and since I'm not going around the whole thing, I will put probably here on the sides and here on the front, I will have these gaps, so I will redesign this. I will obviously have to do it to put the board in here, and I will redesign a lip around the edges as well, as thick as the double-sided tape is. I think it's like 1mm or 0.8mm, so I will make a thin lip around this, so it will still close the gap when I'm just double-side gluing it to the bottom of the frame. So this is it for this video. I'm really glad that this worked pretty easy. I think people are using the servo output for some cameras to control the angle, or use it for gimbals if you have a gimbal, although gimbal connects normally to the VTX, the video transmitter. But anyway, this was really easy to figure out. That was nice. And if you're interested, write me in the comment and I will send you sorry, I will send you screenshots how I did set it up. Actually, I could also show it here. So on a SpeedyBee F405 version 4 speed controller, you use this pad. I don't know if the other pads would work as well. This one is D4, I think, and I configured it in Betaflight controller in the servo tab. Oh, come on, focus. Does not want to focus. Oops. Excuse my sore throat. In the servo tab, where's my mouse here, I configured it to A3, and actually there's a YouTube video out there that shows you how to configure it also in the CLI tab with the commands. And I think, wait a second, I did take screenshots on the commands. Let me load those up for you, since you're nice enough to be still watching the video, I hope. Okay. Once you type in resource, it will list all those resources, and then you have LED strip 1 here with A08, and then you write in resource LED strip 1 none and save it, and that configures the output to the to disable the NeoPixel, which it did. I did check, and enabled the PWM output for the servo. So that's what you have to do. I will link the video on the bottom so you can check it out in the description. And once you do that, you go also to configuration, and enable the servo tilt. That's what is, I guess, mostly used. So you enable servo tilt here. I thought I would need to forward aux channel to servo outputs, channel forwarding, but you don't need that. Just servo tilt, and then go into your servo. Of course, always save and restart, and then you go to the servo tab, and here I think that will work without the receiver being connected to battery. Yeah. So here you can see the output from low, middle to high, and I can use that as the input, and I can also assign actually a voice to that, so I know what voice I would have to record, but what mode, what NeoPixel mode I have. Like here, for example, you cannot
Side mode horizon. Side mode angle. Side mode horizon. Flight mode acro.
and what I also did on my radio is assign this potentiometer. Oh, now I can show my screen was all washed out on my previous videos, sorry for that. But here I have volume control, so I can
Side mode horizon. Side mode angle.
and all the way down,
Side mode horizon.
or even mute it.
Side mode angle.
Oh, it doesn't mute it,
Flight mode acro. Side mode
but it's very
horizon.
low. So anyway, if you're interested in this mod, let me know. I will make a video about that. And anyway, this is it for today, I guess. Let me zoom out here, go to 1x, and that was pretty easy to set up. I'm glad about that. And now I will be able to control the NeoPixels like I want to. Maybe I put my police code on there to have it light up like a police drone. I don't know if there's such a thing as a police drone with red and blue lights, but I can do so much more with the NeoPixels if I able to, and I will be control them through the Atmega board. So anyway, this is it for this video, and if you want to see my other mods and what else I can think of, I think I'm pretty much at the end, just waiting for the motors to arrive so I can wire those up and then screw it together one last time and fly this thing. I also did find a cover for the Moonlight kit for the lens protector, which is a lens, not just protector, but it ND8 it is, with ND8, which does help with the light to make the colors more vibrant or not washed out. So anyway, there's also ND16 and ND38, 32 that you can buy. Anyway, this is just a cover to protect it for transport. Oh, and I also did create this, the front bumper. Before, the front bumper was like that, and it was open here, and I don't know what purpose it has being open there. Anyway, I figured I will close that, and first I made this, but then it did touch the lens protector, the lens cover. So I did create it with an opening, and now the whole front and actually the sides of the aluminum CNC machine aluminum are protected, because with this they were exposed. The cover would go only up to the side of the aluminum, and this way if it does crash like this, the aluminum will be protected, and if this gets screwed up you can just reprint it. Anyway, so that's also a design, and I actually really do like how the cover turned out. It did take some trial and error and measuring and whatnot, especially having those cutouts for the cable to go in there, but I think it turned out great, and I might just leave the text off there because I know who made those mods. I don't need to remind myself, but I might leave it on there. Anyway, this was it for today. As I said, if you wanna see this thing flying, pray for the motors to arrive. And any other mods that I will make for the SpeedyBee Mario 5 DC, that cat version of the drone. I don't know why people not use this as a standard, because on the other ones you always have the propellers in the picture, because the leg comes out like this towards the front, and I'm not gonna race this. I don't know if I'm gonna be ever good enough to race this drone. I just want it for aerial videography, to take pictures and photos, and to take videos actually. And this Moonlight kit has onboard 4K recording, so even though the transmission is only in 1080p, it does record in 4K, and I'm pretty sure it will make beautiful videos. And I have GPS also, which does not get a lock inside at all, even near window, which my other GPSs do. But outside it gets, of course, reception, and it works, and then you can program it to fly home if it loses signal, or if I think you can also trigger it from the radio to fly home. Since I have another button empty, the SD button, I could use that to fly it back home, or if you're too lazy to fly back home, you can just press the button and it will come to the point where you started flying. So thanks for watching again. I wish everybody a beautiful, happy, lucky new year, and I hope my luck changes as well. And as the Americans say, if it wasn't for bad luck, I would have no luck at all. I tried to convert this to Turkish. It doesn't work really well, because there is no word for no luck. And anyway, hope for the best and take care, everybody.